All right, hello, welcome. So this is going to be my own analysis as well as a talk about how I can better get involved in these bullish grind up, breakout, continuation days. Because these have always been my kryptonite. I've always preferred shorts first of all, and then there's a very specific archetype of day that it kind of it has those strong bullish legs, and then there's that sort of upwards sideways channel higher, and then it continues, and everyone's calling the reversal, trying to short, including myself, catch a top, and because of that it just grinds higher. Like in this example, we have this very clear grind here in the red, right, in the magenta, and then we eventually break out. So I was really going back and spending a lot of time looking at this and thinking, oh yeah, how can I do a better job of preparing myself for these types of days? Because I do very well on the bearish days, on the bear breakdown days where you just have those cups and handles and the very clear controlled buying, head and shoulders. And I'm able to snipe those entries and, right where it's grabbing the liquidity on the breakdown or the retest, whatever. But on these days, I struggle to get involved. First of all, the pullbacks never feel as clean, or they feel more shallow. I find myself in the past much more so, but always trying to call the reversal, just catching a top. I can't sit there and wait anymore, or I've only planned for shorts. I'm only thinking about shorts, and that was another part of the issue today. And yeah, I just find myself kind of like, I only want to short and I don't care if it goes up. So then I'm just sitting there waiting for an hour and a half for a trade. And there are very clearly places that I can and should get involved, even if it's half size, right? Just to build that confidence. Put on a contract, go half size or whatever it is. Because there is money to be made here. There's very clear moves, and I need to add it to my portfolio, to my repertoire of setups and trades that I'm watching. All right. So we had a large gap down to, I mean, yeah, right here, right? So like, if you're watching this in the future, this is the war market regime. Uh, Trump there was some bullish catalyst here on this day. This is your 30-minute S&P regarding the end to the Iran-Israel-U.S. war, and a just grind up higher continuation fails, and overnight Trump's speech led to a strong rally in oil and a sell-off in the indices, right back to the level that we had the bullish catalyst-driven breakout. If I put some volume, there's going to be a lot of volume on this bar. Yeah, right? So this was all news-based. So we're right back at that level. And I was watching that as a sort of line in the sand in the morning. And there was no real good bearish structure here. Uh, it was just sort of it was just sort of grinding down in white, and you see the volume tapering off, like I had noted here and here as well, right? And I ended up just only like I ended up calling the longs here pretty well. It was right around here. When I saw this, I was like, okay, this can't really go lower. And I was seeing the red, the magenta, which actually took control beautifully up here at the top of the range, as well as here when we break out and retest it. That's a setup I need to be watching for later. But I noted the magenta here, the red, and just a sec, and the tapering as well. The magenta was very thin. The tapering to teal taking control. And I at this point I was saying like, okay, I want longs, you know, and we broke out here. Great, okay. I was wanted a long retesting this level of support. We break out, we touch the teal here, and it forms these two wicks of support. Now, this is not a horrible entry. This is like maybe a half size entry, but I wanted the right shoulder here, forming that alignment, right? Lining up with my orange buying. I wanted the retracement to down here, reclaim the teal, and then we can go, right? I want to be getting in at this green liquidity support. And we never got that. So it ended up double wicking here. I saw that and I was like, oh, please go down and touch this. I want to get really, if it goes down to this level, I'm smashing I'm smashing longs, right? It doesn't, we sort of have this, the breakout, little bit of that mini consolidation, breakout again, and then we don't even touch it, we wick it. There's so much momentum here, a lot of volume, early candles, first 20 minutes of the day, very high volatility, lots of volume, lots of participation. So the retests are just very thin, and we can keep going very thin, right? It's not like, so, contextually, that's also something to think about in terms of how I'm reading these. Like, okay, do we really have to go all the way here? It's right early morning. We have a strong breakout, strong candles, precision algo shows itself. Like, all right, let's play more aggressively. And if it's not perfect, like I can get half size here. I had this teal from here. I had this teal very early, and look how perfectly it held support, right? I mean, it's on the money right there. It didn't hold it. It didn't retest. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. We break out higher. Okay, whatever. It's only a 920, or it's only a 950. I can wait. And then, as we break out higher, I say, oh shit, okay, oh shoot. Okay, we got to the bottom of we got to the very top of the red, come back, retest, and we continue higher. Now this is too thin. I'm not going to be taking this. But once we do break higher, you just see volume is torpedoing up, right? There's a lot of aggression. And we end up selling again. Hold on. We end up selling again in the exact same white from earlier, right? This white that I noticed it here too, right? And look at the volume, same story, staircase down volume, right? If I just copy paste this here, it's the exact same white selling. Now, I have the green liquidity level here, showing that this is a support. We've closed an overspilled cup. We have the backtest of this confirmed red liquidity, red level, right, which was support here, and you can see it holding the range beautifully, right? We backtest that. It's the bottom of the white. We're in a controlled selling. Volume is declining. We have an overspilled cup. We have very clear bullish breakout, clear precision buying. Bulls are here. They're strong. This is a good long. And then you have the bullish green liquidity level holding support. You have the micro head, right? Head here. Hold on. You have the head here, right back to the liquidity there, and then we break out the white. That's a trade. That is absolutely a trade, So this, I should have been involved. And the problem is, at this point in time, my mind is so focused, because I love taking shorts, right? That's where that's what I've always done. So my mind is so focused on, oh, we get this, we get the breakdown, oh, we go like that, and it goes to zero. And that's like, okay, you can think about that and plan that, but you also need to have a bullish scenario prepared for your bullish thesis as well. Or else you're just going to get caught in, oh, it's going to go down. Nope, it's going to go down. Nope, it's going to, right? And on this day, and especially on these bullish grind up days, that can last for hours. It can just grind up until the cash close. So anyways, we have more of that. And again, I failed to get involved. So I do notice this red, right, taking control of the range. And that did make me more cautious. Okay, in my defense, I noticed this red here. Was I taking huge reversal shorts trying to catch a top and this very clear buying, controlled buying? no, that's great. You know, that's a sign of maturity. I wasn't doing that before. I mean, I used to do that a lot before. However, now I've matured a lot. I can definitely do better, right? So we have the cup closure, right? We come down, and then this red liquidity, this prior resistance, is now support. It's formed a very strong floor there. And I could have got involved here, where it lines up with the orange buying. Beautiful, as well as the retest of the teal. I mean, that's gorgeous. You have the retest of the teal, right? Holding support. It's still holding support. Breaks out of teal. Support, 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 support. Retest cup closure at high of day. Very, again, strong buying continuation. Support of the orange buying. Okay. And then support of the prior resistance, which is now support, right? I mean, that's a 10 out of 10. Take this. This is money. How big of a move is that? You know, that's 80 cents. You can live, you know, incredibly on a move like that. Like that's all you need. You can make millions on that. So there's absolutely no need, no reason for me to be like, oh, I'm just looking for short, so I can't be taking this, blah blah blah. You know, this is more than enough. So, anyways, and I was watching this like, oh, where's my breakdown? Where's my breakdown? We never closed below. This was still supports here, right? I want to be shorting at this level. We never got it. Wonderful, no trade. We break out again. We have a strong rejection here, and again, I'm seeing that red holding, the top red. It isn't until we break out here, we form another cup, right? So you can see the cups forming, and just stair stepping up. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. What do we get, right? Higher high. And this is interesting because I ended up seeing this, again, controlled selling. Hold on, let me show it normally. I ended up seeing this, right? The controlled selling in yellow. I was like, okay, no shorts here, no shorts. Unless we get a strong break. And my plan for the short was not bad. It was a strong breakdown, right, of the bottom red liquidity, bottom red TL algo there, trend line, retesting this prior support now and resistance level as resistance again, forming that right shoulder and the breakdown. I mean, that is a beautiful trade. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's gorgeous. All right, you've got a plan. Great work. You've got a plan for the short side, but the market is going up. Now, what's your plan for the long side? And I just wasn't thinking about it. I didn't have one. So I ended up watching this very carefully, thinking about, oh, I want to see the breakdown here, I want to see the breakdown here. And one thing I did well was noticing that the magenta, the red, had tightened. It had come up to this level now, right? I can draw it again. So before it was like this, but now I'm seeing it tighten, right? Jeez, I'm seeing it like this now. There we go, right? This, and I'm okay. So it's getting stronger actually. The buying is compressing the top of the band of the channel, which is a sign of strength. And man, this was so beautiful because you see the cup here, and I had noticed this. And okay, this prior level, this is generational support right here, right? So what do we do? Okay, we're holding here we're selling in a controlled selling channel after a cup closure, higher lows. Okay, and I also am noticing, oh, look at the volume. It's staircasing down. You just see the gradual decline in the volume from here. It gets lower, down to here. And what do we see on the chart? Controlled selling in yellow. And we're holding, continuing holding. And the biggest tell was when my middle magenta, my middle red, touches right there. That's beautiful. You know, you see it hold support right there. It wicks it. It breaks back above the yellow. You can get in there. whatever, your 33-cent stop. It's holding the prior resistance. It's now support. You form the cup and controlled selling. The magenta is tightening. That you see it here. Cup and handle. I mean, perfect trade. Perfect trade. And then you have this level, this liquidity breaks up, and you also note. So this was riskier. I don't know. This one you could have still taken half size, whatever, but this one here, this one here was the same teal that we've been having the whole day. Breaks out, and it just has this quick wick to the head. There's your liquidity level, resistance, support, comes up, wicks it, and it aligns with your orange buying beautifully. This is totally valid, right? You have to be trying this orange buying. You see the orange buying, the whole way up, right? So it comes up, it breaks out. Granted, the risk is because you're at the top of this magenta, right? But you have such a clear structure here. You have the head, so you have the cup, and then you have the handle forming with the confirmed by the controlled selling, the volume, the hold of the bottom red, this prior resistance becoming support, breaking out, and now it's trying to reclaim this prior resistance becoming support, and the floor here, the ledge, right? Resi, breaks out, aligning with the teal, aligning with the orange buying algorithm, right? But buying program comes out, wicks it. That's a long. That is an absolute. And I was watching that. I'm okay. What do I see here? Interesting. You're right. But something about getting involved there. I don't know. And I was saying, if I'm going to get long, I'm going to wait until it breaks the top red, right, the magenta, and retest it. And here there was so much momentum, so much speed that we just come up, we break it. There's obviously some crazy tape things. Wicks it right there, and we just moon, right? And this breaks the prior high of day, which was this was Tuesday's high of day, which was right here. Yeah, it was this level. So we come, it wicks it, right? So you can, you see it wick, you get in there, whatever. If it fails, you lose, and it just boom, 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 like crazy, This would have been a trade, absolutely, right? And you see the structures and this level, right? Break, retest, quick wick right there, aligning with the teal, so many things in play. You see the liquidity levels flipping again, resi, sub, resi, sub, resi, sub. The buying. So there's this is stuff that I saw this in real time. I can talk about it comfortably. I feel good about it. Like I understand the dynamics here. I saw all these plays. But I kept saying it's not for me. I want my short. Blah, 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 and that's fine. But there also needs to be a balance where you can get involved with these moves. And I think in the future, that's going to change. You're going to see me talking about how I did a very good job on some bullish breakout continuation days, whatever. So that is the style of day, and we had this news catalyst. Look, this is my specialty. Lower low, lower high, strong volume breakdown, no bullish continuation, weak here. Tapering off volume, strong bears coming in, break of the major orange. And this level resistance, we come back, we wick it. I see like some weird tapings with the flick there. I get in short here. It was like here, stop. I mean, this was so volatile. Stop, I guess, is not as close to the resistance as I would have liked. It was still like 30 cents, but this blue was a previous high of day. See us kind of reject it. They're very quickly, okay, I'm in. And not the greatest trade in the world, not horrible. I'll take it. I'm done. But things to work on as I keep improving and getting better. So thank you very much for listening.